What it is, good people, it's your boy King, and I got my man here, Bolo, with me. I know you guys have been asking for me to get him on here, so I thought I'd just hit him up and give him a call. You know what I'm saying? Shit. What's going
Yeah,
on, bro?
man, it's all good, man. You got me on here.
Hey, man, you a hard man to get a hold of, bro. We've been trying to set this up for a little minute, too.
Yeah, I'm a hard man. I got kids, man. I got kids. I got I got a life. I got a life outside of YouTube, man.
Hey man, you a big staple in the community, man. Everybody always be like, "Do you know Bolo? Do you know Bolo?" I'm like, "Yeah, bro. He in my phone, dog. I can hear
Man, we talk.
him."
You don't came
I,
to the spot.
I'm like, bro, stay in Atlanta, bro. Like, you gonna bump into who you want to if you stay down here.
Yeah, yeah, that's for real. That's for show
Yeah,
right on.
yeah. So shit, man. Let's just start it off, man. I want to know, like, what is something that you do to stay creative?
I leave the house. You know what I'm saying? Like you cannot be creative and you're just in the house all day and you're just around yourself all day. So I leave the house, I do things, I travel, I walk, you know what I'm saying? I'm about to walk once we get done doing this. I go and eat. If you guys follow me on
Oh
IG or
yeah, you're a
Facebook,
foodie, dog. You be
I'm a
eating.
foodie. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? Me and my girl, we eat everywhere. We try new spots. Sometimes we might just ride and just pull over to the side of the road and and just
yeah.
go to different restaurants. I travel. I travel the world. I've been around the world. So it's different inspirations and everything. And plus I'm in studios too. So,
Hmm.
I'm in, a various amount of studios. Well, not as much as I used to, but I go to like my mentor studio a lot. I got my own studio as well
Yeah,
as, so it's a lot of stuff that I get out, I venture. And that's one thing that I think everybody needs to do.
that's cool. How big would you say passion is? Like actually like loving what you do? Because like now, like people don't really I say like music is like the get rich quick scheme. Like people really think like it's just like, overnight and like it's just like, oh, I can get notoriety by doing this. But like talk about like really like loving the craft and like being a student of this shit too.
Well, the thing is, regardless of what you want to do in life, you have to love it because, especially if you're not a person who doesn't want to work. If you don't want to work, you definitely got to love what you do if you don't want to work. Because I told myself I was going to fall out of love with music when I felt like it was a job. And one thing about music is you're not going to be that overnight success stuff is the worst thing I've ever seen because people don't look at all of the years and all of the time that people spent in the studios just learning the craft, and then boom, they might have one song or one beat may take off and it's like, oh, you're overnight success. I don't believe in that. A lot of these people were struggling. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? I was struggling. I was
Hmm.
a college student struggling. I was, I had got a little success, and then after that, I ended up struggling again. And then
Hmm.
boom, I come into, my biggest situation. And then and then the struggle is different from that point because now you're big to everybody else, but on the surface level, you got people that are so much bigger than you. So you're struggling now in this big industry game too. So you're trying to work your way through that. So it's different levels of struggling with this. So you have to really love the craft and love what you do to do it. I almost say is you got to feel like you would never get a check in music. If you go in that mind state that you're never going to get a check, you're never going to get paid, but you still love to do it, then this is the thing for you.
Gotcha. Talk about the importance of like finding your sound. Because like now, like everybody be like trying to make like tight beats or sound like this person, sound like that person. Like talk about like actually like crafting out, your identity, your music DNA.
Well, it's kind of crazy because you have to learn it from somebody,
Hmm.
and you take influences from somebody, and that's what and I don't mean to stretch into this whole subject. It's kind of like with AI has to learn it from somewhere, and humans have to learn it from somewhere as well. So is AI much different from
I'm not getting into
You
that
know,
with you, dog.
come on, man. I was gonna reel you in on this one, man. Come on. You know, but you have
Yeah,
to learn something from somebody,
yeah,
and you
yeah,
have
yeah,
to
yeah.
have, humans learn the same way that.
It's programming, man.
Come on, man, say it. You can say
I'm not.
it.
I'm not.
but you know, but you have to, if you say, for instance, you're a young kid, you hear Michael Jackson, like, oh, Michael Jackson's dope. I want to make some beats like that, or oh, as me being a young kid, I was like, man, like I was real heavy on a lot of the New York stuff, so I was on Premiere stuff, you know what I'm saying, real heavy, and and then I was really I was on Bad Boy a lot, so
Yeah,
saying the
yeah, yeah,
hitmaker stuff like that, I was really on that. I was a Keith Murray fan back in the day, you know what I'm saying, Red Man, Method Man, I was really on that. Then Manny Fresh came in, once
okay.
Manny came in, it changed my life. And then you know uh all the No Limit stuff, you know what I'm saying, all the No Limit stuff. So it's like Beats by the Pound,
It's about
KLC,
time.
that
Yeah.
that changed everything for me as well, you know what I'm saying. So I took bits and pieces of that, and I wasn't even doing music, I
Hmm.
didn't start till 2000, you know what I'm saying, from my homeboy. And uh and I just started recording, and I started making some beats, and then I really can't say, I know my sound is a little weird, you know what I'm
Hmm.
saying, in a sense. And because people I get online, I start making beats, and people like, oh, here we go again, the
yeah,
same type of beat. And
yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
that's my sound. I cannot, that's my sound. I can make other stuff, but honestly, when I get on live making beats, don't nobody want to sit there with me tinkling around for 45 minutes trying to come up with some R&B chords. They want me to see something quick because they trying to get out of there too. You
Yeah,
know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
um it's very important. Like when I did the song with Silento, a lot of people wanted that sound.
Hmm.
And I had to continue making beats for a lot of kids with that sound right there. So that sound kind of took me to, for 4 years, it held me down for a minute.
Hmm.
But it's very important to find something. Like if you're a sampler, find some ways to find a certain genre of music that you sample, like how RZA and stuff was doing. Find different drums, something that's going to make you distinctive from everybody else who does the same thing.
Hmm. Nah, that's real spill that you say. Cause like even for me, like growing up, like DJ Toon was my guy. So
Oh
like I
yeah,
I borrowed bits and pieces like the horns, like the strings or whatever, and then like because I could play like B Cox. So
yeah,
like just being like melodic and having like the turnarounds, and then I would just take little bits and pieces from them, and then with a little Quincy Jones, and then just like come up with my own sound. But nah, we all borrow from somebody. You just got to put your spin on it, and then just know what to get. You
yeah.
know
It's
what I'm
kind of like.
saying? Man, I'm not. I'm not.
I'm just saying, man. I'm just saying.
Yeah, you. I mean, yeah, 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 yeah. If you want the answer, yeah. It takes a little bit of all of us, and then they go write a program. To yada 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 yada. So we all are a part of
I know they're gonna be talking shit about me about that, but it's all good.
it. Would you say it's a formula to making a hit?
I have a certain formula to how my songs got done, but I don't think it's no formula. Nobody, listen, man. Nobody knows nothing.
Hmm.
Nobody knows nothing. You have people who are in places that can push certain things out a little bit faster,
Hmm.
but a hit is something that everybody loves, or a large amount of people, not everybody, but a large amount of people like. And a lot of people get up here, they're like, oh man, I make hits, I make this, I make that. But are they really hit records?
I was just watching a video on that, and hell no, they not hit records.
They might be popular records at that time, but is this going to be something that's going to be played 20 years from now that's considered a hit record? Is it going to be the one of them ones where, when we were younger, BET would come on at 3 o'clock in the morning, and you'll hear, "You are my love,
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
I wanna say." You'd be like, dang, that
yeah.
was a hit. And you had this catalog of songs that just was really hit records. there's a lot of popular records that make a lot of quick money right now.
Yeah.
But what are the hit records?
I can do you one better. Are people even willing to go to like a Circuit City or a Target or a Best Buy and spend like that 15, $20 on a record? Cause I'm kind of like in the middle. Like the technology era went off when I was in college,
Yeah,
but like I still remember like Confessions, seeing that happen. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Seeing the Little Wayne with the million for the Carter, like seeing Ti and Jeezy sell millions of records, and then I got to see a billion streams or a million streams. Like way, 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 way different. Because 106 and Park is my era.
yeah,
So I remember like the countdown. I remember TRL. Like I remember like how VH1 and MTV in the morning would play all the music videos while you going to school. Like Rap City the Basement. Like all that shit is dead, man. That's a whole
like
whole different era.
you had a whole bunch of songs that got really big, and they got really
Yeah.
big because they had the influence. You got to understand during the basically the from 70s, well, really pretty much from all times, you had to think LA and New York were the media outlets of the country.
Hmm.
So you had all the media going there. So of course, if you was an artist big in New York, you had the media outlets to push you out. You had the money to push you out. You had all the means to push you out. You got to think like 90s.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? New York, LA, New York, LA. And you had some stuff going on. You had a lot of stuff going on in the South
Hmm.
that a lot of people up there didn't know about because there wasn't that much media like that. Now they
Hmm.
did, like, places like Texas, Florida, they had their own thing. They had their own
Yeah,
media.
Texas was independent and the Bay. Like
Yeah.
they
The Bay
very
as well. Yeah, the
independent.
Bay Area, very independent.
Hmm.
To this day, it's like the Bay Area, I'll tell you, it's two places right now who has like well, three that has a really big independent culture to where they support their artists. That's number one is Atlanta.
Hmm.
That's a thing here to support the local person. That's a thing to be in high school. We support this person. Oh,
Yeah,
this
yeah,
person
yeah,
from
yeah.
our side of town. Oh, we're gonna bring them to the high school. We're gonna show up to the shows. We're gonna go to the little clubs or whatever. That's a thing. That's a thing to do that in Dallas and like in Houston and stuff like that.
Hmm.
That's a thing. That's a thing in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
That is a thing that's been going on for years and years and years. Um, so like looking at like how it was like in the 90s, we had records that stood the time. Like right
Test of
now,
time. Yeah.
yeah, test of times. You got 8 Ball and MJG right now. They can still do a show and turn it out. The Young Bloods can still do a show, turn it out. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? You have a lot of artists that can still do stuff that people didn't know about. So that's why I say when you had the money to push the records out, doesn't mean that it's necessarily a hit record. Like my record, we know Silento record is a big record. Do I look at it right now as it being a hit record for that time? Yes, but I got to see in 20 years from now, is that record still going to be on people's minds? In 30 years, is that record still going to be on people's minds like how it still is right now? It's been 10 years and that I still get paid pretty good from it. So, at the end of the day, there's some records that were really big that came out that you wouldn't almost never really hear anymore unless you like, oh, you remember such record? Oh, let me go ahead and pull it up real quick.
Yeah. But another thing too is though like music like artists like it's no more fan bases. Like people would make people fans of them. Like that's
Yeah.
why that Scream tour can still go on because like for the girls and stuff that was in my age bracket, they were fans of these people. They
Oh
had
yeah.
posters on the wall. Like once again, they was buying CDs. Like these artists don't have a core fan base, and so when you don't have a core fan base, like you're not gonna be sustainable. Like look at even people like Nip. Like look what I got on. The
Yeah.
man, the man is dead, but he had a fan base and people that was actually willing to like spend the physical dollar with people. Like I
Yeah.
be like all the time, like motherfucker have a million streams and folks don't spend no bread, but Buddy over here got 1,000 people that's willing to spend $1,000 with him,
Oh yeah.
and
Yeah.
he's
Nah.
killing.
Yeah. It's like that. It's people right now that have billions of streams that can't fill up an arena.
Yeah,
But you have some people that like right now, all the old guys,
Yeah.
they
But
selling
fan bases, man.
the fan bases.
Fan bases.
Like
Fan
one of my
bases.
good friends is Jason Weaver, the actor that's on The Shy.
Mm-hmm.
He had girls who were like, I'm the head of the fan base, and here I'm the head of the, and like one of my homegirls, she's a writer for me, singer and a writer and a dope artist. She was the head of the fan base in like South Florida for
Okay.
Jason Weaver. And
Okay.
she's so scared to meet him right now. I'm like, bringing Jason by the studio. She's like, no, I'm gonna freak out. This, that, whatever. And to this day, right now, she's still like that. You know, they do have certain like fan bases right now, but I think it's more of an intimate thing. And it's kind of like what I did with the video on my other page with Lizzo, where she's saying she made a separate page just for her true fans, and she's having dialogue with her true fans. And it's so more rewarding that way to where she can just engage, kind of like what LaRussell, what he's doing with
Oh
his
yeah, he
true
killing,
fans. He's
killing,
killing it right now.
killing.
You cannot, he's killing it right now with what he's doing, because he's doing something that people did before, but he's doing it in the digital age. And he's doing a lot of great things, not to just everybody's on me, but he's actually giving back to the fans as well, where you can invest in his
That's it. Yeah.
projects and stuff. So that's incredible what he's doing.
But where is he from?
He's from the Bay Area.
There you
He's
go.
from the Bay Area. Okay. So, at the end of the day, like, he's doing what has already been done, but he's doing it in a way in a digital era, and then he's expanding with it as well, which is, it's a lot of artists right now, man, that are touring right now that maybe only have 300, 400 fans in each city, but they filling up these 200 and 300 seater venues and making, $5,000-$10,000 a night off of ticket sales and shirts and and other stuff like that. So that's a cool thing.
Yeah. And man, even like from a producer stance perspective or whatever, like man, like fucking around, like learning from like EA Ski. Like when I seen what he was doing, like with the drums and actual like physical units, because I was like, man, I thought people weren't gonna buy nothing physical and shit like that. But like, just man, just peeping game and like learning from him. But once again, he from over there too. Like
Oh yeah.
they just breed hustlers on that side, man.
Yeah, it's just it's like that. Like I always say, the Bay Area and the other Bay Area where I'm from is pretty much the same way, because it's a lot of people that came from my city, from Tampa Bay, that came up here and made an impact, like the Justice League. I have a producer that's up here right now, and he's already getting in rooms and placements because he has that hustle in him. And big respect to the Bay Area. They just have, they have a hustle about them that's crazy. Like, you got to think, I was a Drew Down fan, when I was a kid, because my brother was a Drew Down fan and Too Short fan. You know what I'm saying? E40,
Yeah.
A lot of stuff like that. But I was on Drew Down very early. Brother Lynch Hung, I was on all of that stuff. So you got to think, these were people that were introduced to me from other people from the Bay Area, and I'm like, oh, I mess with that. I rock with that. But like with Ski, I'll tell you this right here. Ski is so old school and new school at the same time that you gotta love it, because he still has that old school readiness. Like, we gotta have it like this. You know what I'm saying? But then at the same time, he knows everything new school. So it's like, I know all the technical stuff. I know all this. I know all that. But we still have to have that same mind frame as the old school. And a lot of those old school guys are like that. Like that. That's why a lot of them are successful, and they continue to be successful. Like, you don't see Ski saying, well, okay, I got to sign off. I got to go to work. You know what I'm saying? Nah, you know what I'm saying? Because he's still doing this at a level that's a lot different, that some people don't understand how this thing is. They don't understand how the music industry works. You got to think, he's been talking the same way since the early 90s.
From the jump.
From the jump. So this is not nothing new. So when I seen him, it was like, first time we met at NAMM, it was like, oh man, this is all love. You know what I'm saying? And I met him and KLC at the same time, and me and my girl was there. My girl was like, "That's KLC." I'm like, "Yeah." It's like,
super cool. He's super cool too, man. Super cool.
And she like, "Man, I gotta call my people. I just met KLC because You know, but end of the day, they put a fire under your ass.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
yeah,
They
yeah,
put a
yeah,
fire
yeah,
under
yeah,
you
yeah,
to where it's like, okay, cool. Let me, you know, he might be right what he's saying. You
yeah,
know, and the thing about it is, it's the passion about it too.
yeah.
And some people look at it as the passion is like, oh man, he's trying to be overbearing or whatever. But it's nothing like that. It's like he's trying to teach a new audience about what it was back in the day.
Hmm.
And what it was back in the day, you got to understand, if you take an old CD from Bad Boy, from Dre, from anything, and you slap that CD in right now and listen to the quality,
Shit gon' hit. Shit gon' hit.
the
Warm.
quality.
Yeah.
Like we was you know, my football team, they were warming up the other day, and they were playing a whole bunch of NBA YoungBoy stuff, which sounded good. You know, the young kids, they on the whole NBA
Yeah, yeah,
YoungBoy stuff.
yeah. Love him. Love him.
But then somehow on the playlist, G Thing came on. And
Mm,
immediately when it came on, I was like, oh my God, these niggas were mixing for real back then.
yeah.
Like everything was crisp, clear. It
The
felt
feeling.
HD.
Yeah, and the feeling to go with it.
The feeling was perfect.
Yeah.
And then a new song came on and it just sounded like, okay, it's a little
It
muffled
like it
here.
like this. It go back.
Yeah, it's
It go
like,
back down. It
but
be the
it's like,
same.
I was like, damn. I was like, yo. And then I remember back in the day, we was at a studio here in Atlanta, and anytime this one guy would mix, he would always throw on a Dre CD or whatever, and he'll play that through for about an hour just to tune his ears to that before he would mix. And that stuff sounded so much better. You got to think everything that Ethan Ski was doing. You got to think of people like Tim Kelly,
Hmm.
all the mixes he did back in the day for all the people, you know, with him and Tim, when Tim and Bob was doing all the R&B hits and stuff like that. And he was telling me, I was like, Tim, who mixed the records? He like, I was mixing the records.
Hey, that would be the crazy thing. They be like, I produced it, I helped write it, and I mixed record. You be like, what?
Yeah,
Yeah, through and through, like from start to finish. Like I seen the record all the way through, and you be like, oh, I gotta go
yeah,
back. I
yeah,
gotta go.
yeah.
I
And
gotta
it's
go.
like,
I gotta go back.
because I was like, yo, how you got them drums on slow down? He was like, yo, he's like, I was like, who mixed those? He's like, I mixed them.
I mixed them.
I'm like,
Look,
what?
no, what blew me with Tim was he said, hey, every beat I made, them ain't the same sounds. Like I use a new batch of drums every beat. I was like, he was like, yeah, yeah, yeah. I just got the 3,000. I'm like, but that's why they have. You don't want to say like a little arrogance, but like how you say like a little girth with what they say because like, I got the machine. So like the ASR, the 3,000,
Yeah,
like them machines weren't designed to do the shit that they was making them do.
no,
So to just have the brain power to be like, oh, on the 3,000, like it's no auto chop, but I can just keep making copies of
yeah,
this sample and adjusting the start and stop point. That's how I'm making chops. Like I'm not sitting there doing, like on the newer ones, like hitting it and it's just chopping. Like
yeah.
I got to make copies of this shit. And so when you find out that they had to trick these machines to do certain shit, it's like, bro, you got to respect them. Like, bruh, like they scientists
They
at
they're
that
they're
point.
mad scientists at this point, and they know how to put records together. That's
Mhm.
the thing. You know, I worked with Kevin Shakespeare Briggs. Shakespeare was a stickler for drums being in tune. And I thought I would come in the studio and I'd play something hard, and I'd be like, oh, this thing hard. Everybody be bouncing their heads, and he'll just be sitting there. And once it get done, everybody leave out the room. He'd be like, you know that 808 was out of key, right? And I'm like, what you talking about? We got to fix that. Hey, man, I got to go home. Hey, bro, no. We got to fix this now. Hey, bro, it's 4 o'clock in the morning, bro. I got to go home. What time I get your kids? I got to take them to school by 7. How long gonna take you to get there? About 30 minutes from here. It's downtown. I got to go over to the east side. All right. Okay, let's just, you know, nah, man, I got to go. No, we got to fix it now. You want to be great, right? You want to be great, right? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I want to be great, man.
Yeah,
All
yeah,
right.
yeah.
So we're going to fix this until we get it right. And then when you leave, you drop the kids off. If it ain't right, come on back. I'll be up.
Hmm.
We can't be like everybody else. I'm like,
Hmm.
oh, Lord. So we'll be there for hours going through kicks and basses
Yeah.
until it felt right. And we're like, oh, this is a perfect combo, but we'll leave like 4 or 5 kicks and 4 or 5 basses. And then he'll sit with it for a while. Then I'll come back to it. Then sometimes we'll argue about it, like, no, this kick is better,
Yeah.
this bass is better. and then that's what got me to even want to do drum kits because I was like, okay, these are the kicks and stuff that I was using because
Hmm.
this is the stuff that got me tuned to like, okay, this is how a certain sound is. Even though you know how it is with these drum kits. Oh man, y'all use the same sounds, y'all this that whatever. But you don't to a person who can't hear anything, they don't know. Oh man, he don't added some saturation to this. He don't added a little this to it. He
Yeah,
EQ'd it. I don't even have to EQ it.
yeah. I don't. He done stacked some sounds like they fat. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
So you got these guys who are older that can hear this stuff that are musically trained because they didn't have all the tools we had. They had to actually hear this
Here.
stuff.
Yeah.
So when you develop an ear like that, and you develop that type of wizardry, as I say, you
Mhm.
get the EA skis who's very passionate about it because you got to think. Imagine if he had the tools that we have now back then. Imagine how much advanced we would be from all these guys
Yeah,
that use that and still had a better sound than what we have right now
yeah,
collectively.
yeah. But you know that I always says, so that starts with like the second question I asked you. It's passion. It's
Yeah,
passion and a drive to like keep pushing the envelope and wanting to be great. You know what I'm saying? Like
yeah,
that's the main thing of the whole situation. Is the passion.
definitely the passion. If you don't have it, bro, it's not it. Like I can sit here and like I was saying the other day, even with YouTube, like I love doing it, and it I don't do anything else but just music. I play a little basketball here and there. I might do this, I might do that. I get out, but I love doing this. So when I don't have anything to do, I just do this. And you have to have a
Hmm.
passion, especially being on YouTube with the algorithm right now.
Oh,
You
you
might
fucked.
you might have 100,000 views on one video, and the next video you like, oh, I
A
know this video
Honda,
finna it might be 250, baby. You know
man,
what I'm saying? But
you're
it,
fucked.
it's done. But that's how people shift. That's how fast people in the algorithm can shift. And it's really the algorithm is controlled by the people. So people's perspectives and the way they look for things shift from day to day.
Yeah,
So you have to love this. Because I know it's some people right now, they might put out a video and then it might not do that good and it just destroys the whole day.
it's over with.
Oh, I
It's
gotta
over.
quit you. I'm gonna make a video about how you two did me wrong. And I ain't gonna lie. In the beginning, I used to be like that.
Hmm.
Even till like recently, I'm like, man, what is going on right now? Like, what
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah,
am I
yeah, yeah.
doing? But then I had to realize, you know what? I actually have fun doing this. I actually have fun trying to crack the code. So right now, if I do have a video or something like that that doesn't do good, now I'm trying to figure out, okay, what did I do? This is actually kind of fun trying to figure this whole thing
Yeah,
out.
yeah, 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 yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah.
saying? So it's the same way with music. Oh man, Bolo, that beat suck. I'll be right on live. Oh, is that bad? Okay, well, dang, let me try to figure out how I'm gonna make this thing sound unsuckable. So let me
Uh,
pause. You know what I'm saying? But let me try to make this thing better.
ah.
So that's what I do, and it's all about a learning game. It's all about a passion thing for me because at the end of the day, it's like, hey, we all have good days, we all have bad days, but are we gonna wake up and do it again the next day? So that's the way
True,
we gotta look at it.
true, true, true. So let me ask you this: what do you look for in gear?
Gear, I look for usability. It has to be the ability for me not to even pick up a manual for me to use it. And it has to have certain functions that work in my particular workflow. My particular workflow is standalone with sometimes I do a hybrid setup, sometimes I'm in the box, but most of the times it's standalone because I just have I'm more fluent at that. It just sounds great coming out. But I have to have keyboards that have the multi-timbral. I like those. Some people like to collect one keyboard for just 10 particular sounds, or
Hmm.
this other keyboard for these two particular sounds. I like to have multi-timbral boards so I can run everything. And then of course I like to have sounds. If I'm working in the box, I look for certain type of sounds in the box that sound like keyboards because I'm just tuned to that sound. So yeah, that's my thing I look for in gear, and it's just cool stuff that everybody can use. I'm not necessarily looking for the most expensive stuff because some of the expensive stuff I really don't hear a difference with,
Hmm.
and then there's some stuff that's fairly cheap that I can hear a difference in from what I'm trying to accomplish. And I think
Gotcha.
that's what people need to look for in gear. Don't look for necessarily a name. Look for is it giving you the results that you want? And that's the way I look at gear.
Gotcha. Gotcha. So what you say? What's your setup? You say you stand alone.
Standalone, mostly standalone. Mostly, I would say right now 65 to 70% standalone.
Mm-hmm.
And the other times in the box, like a lot of times, my guy who actually has a label imprint over at Warner, he just signed a guy in there looking for a remix, so he sent me over the stems for that. It just made more sense to make it inside the box than to do it on the MP, because I've done remixes and stuff like that on the MP, but a lot
That's
of
a lot.
times
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a
you just
lot.
got to sample the hook. Then once you sample the hook, then you take the other verse and put it like that. It's just best to go inside the box, go in the studio one, make the beat, and then what I do from there a lot of times is I may redo the drums or something like that on the MP and then put it back in there, or you
Mm-hmm.
know
Yeah,
do
like
some
spot work.
do like some spot work every now and then on kind of like a little hybrid setup.
So Studio One, that's your main dog. That's what you're using.
Right now, I am using Studio One more than Logic. Now, Logic. I made all my hit records on Logic and on the MPC, but Studio One right now is really good. The sampler isn't where it needs to be at, but if Studio One had Logic sampler and if Logic had Studio One's workflow, it would be crazy.
Nah, Logic used to be my shit, man. Especially when I was like in high school. But like I got back on Reason, and I've been stuck on that. But Reason easy to like sync up like the MPC and the
Oh
ASR
yeah,
and
yeah.
all that. Like them other like Logic, they make it a pain in the ass to like sync up all that stuff with like the clock, because you got to make that environment and all that shit. Ain't nobody got time for all that.
Yeah, I was talking to somebody about the other day, and I had to sync up my keyboard and stuff with Studio One and with Logic, because it was like a note missing issue thing that they had going on. But then when I synced it up, I was like, nah, it's fine. But I can get most of these programs working really fast, because you got to think I was doing it when you had to sync it up with Pro Tools back in the day.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I
yeah,
was
yeah,
doing it
yeah.
on a Pro Tools inbox and on a PC, and I had to figure all that stuff out. So when I
Yeah.
tracked in, I used to track in all my beats that way.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? But hey,
Gotcha.
they saying it's supposed to be a MPC leak. They say it's supposed to be, you never know what's going to happen with that. It's an MPC leak, y'all.
I'm not. I'm not. So that brings me to my next question. Cause I seen your videos and I was like, man, I gotta call him. What's up with the Pro Tools? Pro Tools not industry standard no more, Bolo?
Pro Tools is an industry standard when it comes so far as like trading sessions and stuff like that. But so far as the industry standard in features. So I am going to backtrack a little bit, y'all. I'm going to backtrack. I'll put my hands up. I'll wave the white flag. I'm going to backtrack. But the features are not there yet. They're getting there. They're trying to do the best they can. I've talked to them. Great people over there. They didn't take my video out of malice or anything like that. They are trying to integrate it with producers and everything, so you can have a more complete in the box type of situation. Now, so far as like recording, mixing, and stuff like that, muscle memory when it comes to Pro Tools. It's so I know how to move around, and everybody like, well, you don't know what you're doing because you don't know this particular hotkey.
Mm-hmm.
To be honest with you, a lot of the mixing engineers don't know a lot of those hotkeys. If you sit in
Oh
there with a
no.
lot of these big mix engineers, they take their time. They're not in here like, oh, gotta hit this hotkey, get this mix
Yeah,
done in
nah, it's
45
not.
seconds.
Yeah, nah, it's not like that. Who lied to folks and said that it's like that? Like
Nah, it's not like that.
it's not.
Now, Studio One, they have all the features. Like if you want to take and like one of the coolest features in Studio One is like, say for instance, you want to add a reverb to a certain part of audio.
Mm-hmm.
You can cut a piece of that audio while it's still on the timeline, take the reverb, drag it, and drop it right on the piece of audio that's cut inside of that timeline. And that is totally dependent from anything else on the whole
Oh wow.
timeline. And you can control just that piece of audio with that plugin on that one piece.
Got
You can do that with every single effect on Studio One.
Oh, that's
If
cold.
if you want to route your your kicks and your snares to all to one bus. You can do it in Pro Tools, but you can't do it like that with sends. So all I can do is highlight everything, throw the send on there, boom, it's done. If I want to take one auto tune and I want to copy that one auto tune across every track with the same exact settings, I can highlight the tracks, take that one auto tune, put it in there, it's done.
Mm,
So they have a whole bunch of things that make it a more usable experience, and they give us updates all the time. It's
that's
you might
cold.
just you might turn on Studio One. It's like boom, new update just came out. Go ahead and download it now. Hurry, get it now. Download it, get it. It's
That's
better.
cold. That's cold.
So it's one of those programs that's keeping up with the times, even though then a lot of people are like, it looks a little weird when I first use it, but when you start using it, it's like, oh,
Yeah.
this makes sense.
Yeah.
Now they got to fix that sampler a little bit where they can chop and stuff in there, but other than that, I mean, it's crazy, and then the time stretching is crazy. The
Mm,
I mean, it's just it makes everything simpler, and it sounds like, well, all of the DAWs sound the same, but when you export it, it sounds exactly how it sounded when you were working in it. Like it doesn't change anything on the export when you export in a certain way.
Oh, that's hard. That's hard. That's hard. Nah, but my mind was the same way as yours. I was like, cause like I was like, man, every engineer, every studio has Pro Tools, like, and for recording the audio, like, you never gonna get away from that. But like, as far as like beat making, like I said, like I like Reason, you like Studio One, like everybody got their own personal DAW for like making music. But when it came to like vocals and recording, I was like, ain't nobody gonna never be Pro Tools with that shit. They got that shit locked down. But as far as making music. Oh yeah, man. And then like we'll swap. Like I might be on Reason for a year, then I might go back to Logic. Then I
Yeah,
might go to this. Like it's like driving cars.
but
Like
just imagine this though: FL Studio. Do you know how many kids under the age of 25 are making a full track in FL Studio? And it sounded dope because
yeah.
FL got them plugins that work for FL, especially with the new limiter that they just got right now.
Hmm.
Which I'm gonna do a quick video on that. Like you don't have to even buy anything outside of FL Studio to get an amazing sound. That EQ is amazing. People sleep on that EQ. That EQ2 in there is amazing. You can do so much stuff with it. You can automate everything inside of FL. It's and it's thick. It's a thick sounding DAW. So things
Hmm.
come out sounding thick. That's why I used to love making beats in FL back in the day. When I during that period when I was kind of like I stopped using my 2500 and I was kind of like more on Logic, but I still wanted to have that MPC sound. I would make beats at FL. And after I seen Sonny Digital, he came by my studio for the first time, and this when he was before he was big, and he played me his beats on FL. I'm like, yo, what did you use? He's like, this. What'd you use on your master? Nothing. I just turned it up. Oh, let me go ahead and get this crack right now.
Nah, my
I did
man.
buy it though. I did buy
Nah,
it later on.
my man at now, man. He hooked me up. He hooked me up with it because he was like he seen the stuff I did like with the MP, but like I got it and I turn it on, but I be so lost. Like I don't be knowing what
what
the fuck
what you
what
got
the
to
fuck
understand
going
with
on.
FL, man, this is on the record, off the record. We're gonna leave this live.
Okay.
And I actually made a video for this, but I never edited the video for some reason. I gotta just say I need to edit it. But FL is exactly like working on the MPC. Where it's just different
Okay.
terms. The pattern on FL is the sequence on the MPC.
Okay.
So visualize the pattern in FL as
Okay.
the sequence on MPC.
Okay.
And the playlist is the arranger on the MPC.
Okay.
So what you do is you would make all of your beats in the pattern. So you'll see that first insert, that's necessarily track one. The second
Okay.
insert, that's track two. And
Okay.
then you can actually take those patterns and throw them right on the timeline, or you can split them up on the playlist. You can split them up. It's the same exact way. And
Okay.
I actually made a video showing people, and then when FL guys would come into the studio, like, I don't understand the MPC. I would break it down like, well, the sequence is the pattern, and the playlist is basically the sequencer, or or the arranger, and then they
Okay.
would get it from that point. It's
Okay.
nothing. It's nothing too much different. You got to think a lot of the MPC stuff comes from FL Studio, like half speed stuff like
Oh,
that.
I see that. I see, especially the new shit. I was like,
Yeah,
oh shit, because like when they updated, when they went to this new shit or whatever, like
yeah.
they fucked over my whole workflow. Because I'm like, I'm used to like, okay, you got a track and then you can do the program. And I can just
hmm
keep doing the program. And then they switched that shit. I was like, oh yeah,
Well, but the,
lost.
the cool thing about it is that every track now in the MPC is independent from the other track. Because you remember back in the day, if you had a sample and you made, for instance, you wanted to cut it up and you wanted to put that on another track, it's almost like you had to take that sample and make like a whole new sample and then put it on track two. Because if
Hmm.
you made any changes from track one and duplicated it and put it on track two, it'll mess up track one. Now, what you can do is you could duplicate the track, and then that sample is totally different. The way you cut it up is totally different from track one. You'll just have to put both of them in the choke group, and then that way you'll cut off, the samples, like when it happens like that. Which we could talk about that for days, but
Yeah, I was lost,
I just really went
lost.
into a nerd moment. But
Yeah, I did.
hey, it's supposed to be a new MPC, y'all.
This
They
guy.
showed the box.
Oh, they did.
They showed a box.
What it supposed to be?
It's supposed to be a MPC. They showed a box.
These guys, man. These.
I don't
They,
know, bro, because AI here is crazy. So I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. But hey, it's a new MPC coming. That's what they say, y'all.
hey, hey, I remember when the 37 came out. Remember they had the little boxes.
Yeah.
They showed the little box, and then like a month later, it was like boom.
Yeah. Like, yeah, I remember one guy was on it. It's like, oh, it's a new MPC coming out. It's like the MPC such and such something. It's confirmed. We have the FCC reports. We have this and that. Wasn't nowhere near what it was supposed to be. And you gotta think, even when the XL came out, I didn't get my XL until like 2 days before it's supposed to come out. You know what I'm saying? And they were like, hey, just try to come up with something, you know what I'm saying? But it was very similar to the X, so it was cool.
Hmm.
But when the XL came out, like, like people right now, bro, I know you got it. I'm like, man, it don't work like that, man. I'm not at the top of the food chain like
He
that,
said,
okay?
I'm plugged in, but I ain't that plugged in.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, people be over here, like if I go over here, they be like, there it is. There it is. I see it. It's on his desk right there. That's it. The MPC live 4 6. That's it. I'm like, nah, that's just an MPC live 2, bro. That ain't nothing.
I'm dead.
I actually made a video about that today. You know what I'm saying? I actually made a video. I'm gonna release it probably tomorrow, but I
Okay.
just I just talked about that. I'm like, yeah, everybody like, where's it at, Bolo? I know you got it. I'm
I
like,
know you
bro,
got it.
they didn't even send me the MPC One Plus when it came out.
Mm. Speaking of MPCs, what's your favorite one?
Right now, the MPC Key 37,
Why you like 37 so much?
because you just take it with you, take it out the bag, plug it in, and you're ready to go. You just plug it in. I got my little plug. I actually used the headphone out because a
Okay.
lot of these people had a lot of these places got the aux cords and stuff like that. Just plug it in there,
Plug it in and go.
go to work, and I'm done. I don't have to bring my MIDI controller. I just bring my bag and I'm done. And I like the whole aesthetic of it. I was a fan of the 61, the Key 61, but when the 37 came out, I was like, this is perfect because this has an SD card slot on the back. Perfect. I can, I had a really nice USB stick on the 61, but I wanted to have the SD card slot. And then, like I tell a lot of people too, is you don't have to spend money on these expensive HD drives. Just get
Hmm.
you just get you an SD card with 500 gigs on it. You can get them things for like what, 40, $50.
Go to Micro Center. A
Yeah,
little bit of nothing.
yeah. But do not use those Micro Center ones. I've had problems with those. Those things will give you errors. Get you like the name brands. I use the ScanDisk or the with the
P,
PNKYs.
yeah, PNKY, something like that.
Those the what's it, the Lexors, the LEX, or I can't spell right now, but use like those. Don't use the micro center ones because those things will trip out on you.
Yeah.
They will trip out. But I use the micro ones, but they go into the big chip. I use those. I use the scan disc ones, and I haven't had any issues with it.
Gotcha, gotcha. So analog or digital, which one you taking?
I'm actually taking digital.
Okay, you gotta explain that one to me. Break it down.
Because digital doesn't change. One thing that people fail to realize with analog is that depending on if you're working on a project for a couple of days, when you cut on that equipment, or if how long you had that equipment on, things change. So, say for instance, you cut vocals one day, and then say for instance you're using tape or whatever or something like that, it would change. Now I'm taking it way back,
Yeah, no,
but
no, no.
but it would change from even when certain times when the tape would be sitting for a period of time or whatever like that, you put that tape back in, it's not sound the same. Or if you put too much stuff on the tape or whatever, the tape worn out, or certain equipment, depending on how old the equipment is, it may take this amount of time for it to get the peak performance,
Or
or
even turning it on, turning off, like getting hot.
turn it on, turn it on, getting on, and
Yeah.
it messes with stuff inside of there. So
Mm,
I like the digital aspect of after you run your analog stuff in there, it doesn't change because now you're converting everything to zeros and ones. So
mm.
that doesn't change. So whatever my MP sounded like that day, or whatever my keyboard or whatever my equipment I was running through sounded that day, that's how it's going to sound on that digital format. And plus, it's really clean. It doesn't change. And then I can take stuff on the road with me and everything like that. However, I still run stuff through an analog chain. So my MPC, before it hits my computer, I got it running through a manly force, which I'm probably going to switch that out. I'm probably going to get something a little bit different, but I run it through the manly.
Imperial Labs, the Fatso.
I actually had a fat soul for a while.
That even when you turn it on, like you just hear like
It's like,
uh.
I had a fat soul, and I had the compressor, and I bought them, and I actually resold them. I made an extra $50 when I resold them because the value
Mm,
stayed high on them. But I'm
okay.
thinking about getting another. The fat soul was really good. It doesn't like over compress like stuff like that. It's not like it
And
doesn't really push that much.
and you just need a little common sense. Like it's not that many like crazy parameters. So if you got a decent ear and a little bit of a brain, like it's simple. You know what I'm saying? It's simple. Like
It's a very simple piece of a gear. You know what I'm saying? It's very simple, and that's why Empirical Labs has been around for so long. You can people, if you walk in and if somebody sees a distress in your studio, they're like, okay, well they got some sense.
yeah, yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
you know what I'm
Like even
saying?
if they don't use it, like it's still
Yeah,
if
it's like
having
okay,
one in there, yeah, like yeah,
yeah,
you know what he
you
doing.
could not go wrong with a distressor or like an 1176 going into a distressor just for your vocals to kind of run through some stuff before it hits the digital, you know what I'm saying, domain. That you can't go wrong with that. And it you can make it sound like a LA2A, you can make it,
Mm-hmm.
you can make it sound like whatever. But I don't really like to kiss any compression going in. I just really like to have good pre's, getting stuff hot and getting stuff warm before they hit, you know what I'm saying, my Apollo, because as we all know, people talk about the Apollos and stuff now, but I don't know why everybody hating on my Apollos like that now. They're still some of the best pieces of equipment made,
Oh
even
yeah.
though I don't like the new ones. But you know,
Now Apollo smooth, man. You got one, you get you straight. You gonna be all right.
yeah, you need too much. The new Apollos, I think they're not bottom heavy. Like me and C-Note were just talking about the other day. He's like, man, I don't like these new Apollos. I like the old ones. I'm like, yeah. He's like, what else is out there? And I'm like, you gotta. I'm like, you got the money, go buy some
Yeah,
stuff.
yeah, yeah. After that, after the Apollo, it's like, oh, yeah, you finna
Yeah,
come, you finna come with it.
yeah, you can come with it. But they. I don't have anything else. I don't need anything else. I made tons of records on Focusrite stuff, so
Yeah,
it doesn't really matter to me.
man. And like you say, like even with the Focusrite stuff, like talk about like finding the gear that works for you. Like you know how like I might use a certain thing, you might use a certain thing, but like what I use is for me, and what you use is for you. And like it be a lot of people, man. Like they just be burning money down, and like they getting stuff. And it's like, bro, you didn't even need that because you
Hold
got
on, man.
better.
Hold on, man. We got to spend money, especially through Zounds.com, man. You got to spend
Yeah, I
some
mean,
money,
oh
dude.
yeah, the good people over there. But you
You
know
can,
what I'm
nah,
saying.
nah, I know what you mean. Now, buy as much equipment, you know what I'm
Oh
saying,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
from the link in the video
Man,
description.
yeah,
Yeah, yeah,
hit
yeah.
that, tap that, tap it
Tap
up.
that. You know, to buy something from his and then buy something from
Oh yeah,
mine. You
yeah,
know what I'm
yeah, yeah,
saying?
yeah.
Tap that
Tap it
link.
up.
But nah, you don't. Listen, I tell people all the time, you don't need everything because you're going to spend more money that way. And I did the same thing as well. I spent a whole bunch of money on a whole bunch of stuff I do not use. And I thought I was trying to cheat the system in a sense. However, a lot of these new interfaces that, the UAD Vault series, the SSL, um, the focus rights, all of these things sound amazing. They sounded better than the HD stuff than when that came out in the early 2000s, and everybody was recording on that stuff back then.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Audient, all of their interfaces, that Audient interface, the little $300 one, the 2i2 or the 4i4, sounds amazing. So make music on your budget. Because my biggest record was made on a beat up U87 that did not sound good at all,
Mm-hmm.
running into an M-Box 3 directly.
Ooh, the blue motherfucker, the blue
No,
and
no,
gray
not the
one.
blue one. No, it was the M-Box 3 is the one that came out
Oh,
like
that,
2011,
that was the
that
gray
gray
one,
one.
the
Yeah,
gray one, the gray one, the gray one, the gray. That's the
yeah.
two. The blue one is
And
the two.
and the vocal, I just ran it through there. I didn't have nothing clipping. I didn't have nothing. And I did my mix on it. And then Jason Joshua did his mix, you know what I'm saying, for radio and TV. And it sounded great.
It's Jason Joshua though.
Yeah. And he did
Yeah.
his thing. But what I'm saying is that came from an M-Box 3.
True, true,
And
true.
I didn't have any compression going in. I had the compressor it wasn't working. We had LA2As in the studio. It's like everything that day wasn't working for
Work
some
when
reason.
working.
So I had to run his vocals through an RVox, a Waves RVox, and I ran it through a SSL. Didn't touch the SSL. I had a kiss of compression on the RVox, and I ran his vocals in on that just to give it some sort of an analog feel coming in. And that's it. And then you can hear all the stuff. You can hear in the booth, shout out to my boy Doe. His booth wasn't the best booth in the world, you know what I'm saying? But you can hear reflections and everything in it. And the song came out great.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, my mix is still on iTunes right now. The mix I did that night is still on iTunes. And then you have Jason Joshua's mix. You can hear that on the YouTube on the actual video. You can hear that.
Gotcha.
He brought them drums and stuff out, and he had them throws and stuff going everywhere. Like I got the original
Gotcha.
like mix in the master, and he gave me the stems and everything, and he put throws and shit is all. I'm like, yo, what the hell? And he did something to the kick and the snare and the snap, and it's like, I was like, yo, this dude is amazing.
Hey, yeah, nah. Jason Joshua different.
Yeah. So it's like, but mine is still on iTunes and everything on all the streaming services. So it's two different versions out there, but at the end of the day, they both were effective. And I did all that on cheap gear. But then you know what I do? When I got, a little extra money, I went and just
Hey,
bought
yeah,
up a
yeah,
whole
yeah,
bunch of
yeah.
stuff.
You know.
But I didn't need it, but I got it.
Mm-hmm.
But, spend stuff that's on your budget. I can get whatever I want right now. I still haven't left my Apollo X6, my the one I bought in like 2020, I believe, 2019, 2020. Still sounds great. What else do I need? I don't need nothing else.
I mean, because at the end of the day, man, if you know how to make good music, you know how to make good music.
Yeah,
And
that's all.
as simple as that. It's like it's at the end of the day, all this shit is preference and toys. You know
That's
what I'm
all
saying?
it is. Like,
Preference.
like I say, I don't buy watches, I buy music equipment. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And I travel. So like, I got a motif over here that I'm barely using. I got a, motif rack. I ordered a Phantom XR rack, even though I have the Phantom EX right over here. I
Mhm.
don't need it, but I got it either way because I just want to have the Phantom XR rack. Sometimes I might hook up my MPC 2500 and I might make beats with that. Shout out to JJOS with that. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes I just want to do that. But you, you just want to have fun with what you have, and you
Yeah.
don't have to overspend. Trust me, hit records. The people who listen to hit records cannot tell the difference from one mix to another.
Yeah.
They cannot. Most people who listen to records cannot distinguish a good mix from a bad mix unless it's just
Trash.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Yeah.
cannot tell the difference. I'm just being honest with you. 90% of the people, 95% of people can't hear it. The people who you're mixing these records for are for other people in the industry. That's pretty much it.
hmm So talk about like being a producer, like working with artists. Like, do you like working with established artists or like artists on the come up? What do you prefer?
I like artists on the come up, and I like established artists who still act like they're independent. Um, but I really like working with artists on the come up. My whole career has been built on artists on the come up. Like most of the people I work with, nobody knew who the hell they were. It just happened, and you know, and then they became figures, in a sense after that. So I like working with artists because you have more leeway. You can bounce ideas because they're just like so open to a lot of stuff. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of times you can be a part of that situation deeper than just being a producer because a producer does pay once you have a record that's paying good, but it's nothing like being involved with the whole situation, being involved with the budgets, being involved with all of that. And so if I'm working with an artist, I'm completely involved with that person's deal. And then I get written into the deals and everything like that. So it makes it much better working like that. Or you don't necessarily have to be a part of the deal, but just say, for instance, you're just working with an artist, you get more accomplished that way because you develop a rapport with them early, and then now you're a part of that situation going forward. You're now okay. Uh, they work with Bolo, or they work with King. That's their go-to person. So I love working with new artists. It's a pain. It's not most of the time it does not work out, but when it does work out, it's way much better than working with more established artists.
Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. How would you tell up and coming producers or producers that's trying to get more work? How would you tell them to go about connecting with artists? Because it's always a disconnect.
Go to First of all, you have the internet. If you see somebody that's dope, I don't care if they got 100 followers or if they got 100,000. Try to hit them up. Go to any type of artist showcases that are nearby your area or whatever. Connect with artists, get emails, send a whole bunch of beats over to them. Back in the day, I used to have to press up CDs and give them to people in the crowd. I used to do that for 3-4 weeks. And then next, after about 3-4 weeks being in Atlanta, I would go to open mics and there'll be like 5 or 6 of my beats being played that night. People like, who was this Bolo dude?
Mm.
Then they'll be like, oh, that ain't fair, man. He already got a song that's big. Like, I got one record, bro. I'm not there yet. You know what I'm saying? But that's what I did. I would go to the place like the Royal Peacock. I would go
Oh, you taking
to
it back?
yeah, I would take Royal Peacock. I would go to the Black Lion when they used to have when Walker Flock and them used to have their Wednesday nights there. I walked on stage while Walker was there, got his number and everything when I first got here. People like, man, don't go up there. That's Hit Squad. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I go up there, I'm like, hey, bro, I make beats. I did this particular record. You're like, here, bro, get my number, send me some beats. Boom. You know what I'm saying? I pull up on you with that. Like he was cool like that. You know what I'm saying? This was Wild Walker too. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But he was cool. I never called him though. That was crazy. Never called him.
Okay.
Never called him. Because at the time I was working with another guy named Bama, and he was with Jeezy, and Walker with that. So I was like,
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
yeah.
Let me stay out the kitchen.
Yeah, but they were cool. Them two were cool though. They
Mhm.
I don't know if there's word, but they was like cool. This is when they used to have the open mic up in Marietta that the Dirty Boys used to do back in the day. And
Mhm.
that was a huge open mic back in the
It's
day.
about the one across from the Guitar Center. That club that used to be across from. Is it Guitar Center?
It was the one off of what's
Is
that?
is it Vegas night? Is it Vegas nights?
I can't remember, but it was the one off of what was that little
By
street
the
in Mary?
airport?
No, I can't remember. But it's like the one off of like you get off of Delt Road. I forgot that one road up in Marietta,
Ah, I know you
and
talking about.
that was like the trap over there.
Yeah, Delk Road, 'cause that's by the Dave and the Busters and shit.
Yeah, it was
Ah,
that little club back over there, and the Dirty Boys used to host that open mic over there, and a lot of people came from the north side. You know what I'm saying with that.
mhm.
But I used to do throwbacks. I used to do all that stuff, man. I remember nights I go to throwbacks. I hear 10 of my beats being played. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? So I had that type of grind with it. So I used to just link up with people and just give out music. The thing about it is everybody's so worried about stuff because I made a video today even on my other channel. Like people install fear in so many people, man. Listen, if somebody wants to remake your beat, they will remake your beat. And there's nothing really you can
You do
possibly
about it.
do about it. And some people say, well, I could just take them to court and this, that, whatever. It's very hard to do that. But one thing we all have now, we all have digital signatures that comes with our beat. So when we make a beat and we, download that file, even the session or whatever, it all comes with a date that it's made. It has a digital timestamp. So it helps out if you did want to take it to court or whatever like that, and you have a good lawyer that could fight for you. But a lot of times these people are not stealing beats like how they used to because there's so many beats out here. People are not stressing over, oh man, I gotta have that beat.
Yeah.
It's like, that's cool. If you ain't gotta, I'll go and find another producer that can make something similar or whatever.
Well,
Just send your beats out. If somebody wants your beats, send out the good, the bad, the ugly. Because if you're scared to send stuff out, that means that you had zero chance of working with a particular artist. At least give yourself a chance.
mm-hmm.
And if you have 2 or 3 beats that work, I wouldn't say send 30 beats. I would say send like a 5-pack.
5 pack. Yeah.
And then if one of the 5 work, that is actually very good. You got to look at selling beats or getting beats out like baseball averages. If you're batting 3 out of 10, if you're hitting 3 out of 10 or 2.5 out of 10, you're doing really
Really
good,
well. Yeah.
really good. So send them beats out, and the ones that you might not like might be the one they like.
Usually that's how it always is.
Yeah,
The shit you hate is the shit they love.
yeah. It's like, oh, that's it right there. I'm like, what? Like what?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. But that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah. So man, wrapping this up, man, what would you say is like your purpose or your mission throughout all this shit?
My purpose and my mission is to help out people who have not seen the insides of the industry. And there's a lot of people on YouTube now who are starting to talk about it, the insides of the industry. You got all these, different podcasts and stuff. But I'm taking it from a producer's perspective of somebody who actually worked with artists, got them signed, talked directly with labels, been in meetings, been with the whole rigmarole with everything, what to expect, what not to expect, how to get paid, all that stuff. I'm trying to help out people to understand what is about to happen when this does actually happen to you, which is not going to happen to a lot of people. I'm just going to tell you guys right now, it's not going to happen to a lot. But for the few that do make it, they can at least say, you know what, Bolo did say this was going to happen. I didn't think it was going to happen for real, but it did actually happen. And so back then you have to either learn from like a big homie or somebody else that used to be in the labels or, in those doors or in those meetings or in the building, as they say. Now I can spread the word out right here on the internet, and hopefully somebody takes that and they can use it towards their advantage.
That's good shit, man. That's good shit. Well, look, man, I appreciate you. And shit, we're gonna do this again next time, man.
Hey man, you got me on here. You one of the few that got me on here, man. You one of the few, man. But it's
Hey,
all respect and all love, because I was like,
oh yeah.
listen, I said when he came in, he made that beat. I said, boy, if he make this beat and this beat ain't good, he got this big old 3,000. He ain't make this beat, boy. I swear.
Hey man, when you hit me, I told you I said we're gonna have a good time. We have a good time.
We had a great time, man. Great time. Much love, much respect. Much respect to all the producers, all the real producers out here, all the real people making moves, man. And yeah, man, I appreciate you having me on.
Hey man, thank you for taking time out your day for fucking with me, man.
No problem, bro.
Cool. How you say,